subcommittee for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. It's good to see you again. The EPA's Clean School Bus Program is a clear example of what we can do, I think, when Congress listens to our communities back home and we combine it with American innovation and know-how, because this important initiative is taking polluting school buses off the street and cleaning up the air for our kids as they travel to and from school. It's helping school districts save money. So it's really a win-win-win, I think, for our communities. Are school districts required to apply for the Clean School Bus grants and rebates?
No, they're not required to.
Okay. EPA also has a very important public health mission. So evaluating the health benefits of clean school buses can inform our ongoing work to keep kids safe and ensure that our communities have clean air. We also want to provide school districts with all necessary information as they consider the value of applying for these grants. So does your office have any plans to evaluate the health benefits of cleaner air resulting from the Clean School Bus Initiative?
I know that EPA speaks to that. That's a difficult thing to obviously measure. I will say our sense is that in the funding structure that the EPA has chosen, they have incentivized school districts to ask for electric school buses as opposed to alternative fuel school buses. So the EPA has said that they will fund up to the entire cost of an electric school bus, but they will only fund a partial amount of the alternative fuel. And so, like I said, these are
So they've built, the EPA is built in kind of that health consideration, but as you go forward with your analysis, your future audit, you don't have plans to build that in as part of your review?
Not yet. Fortunately, we have the money for this, and our plans are, these are just the beginning of, I think there's a lot of work that we can do to help the EPA.
Diesel school buses also are contributing to the higher cost driven by the climate crisis, and replacing old buses helps us move forward on our climate goals. And the transportation sector is where we know what we need to be doing, and it's probably a little easier than some of the other sectors. Industrial sector, we don't have a lot of the answers yet. Isn't it true that transitioning to those zero-emission buses will have the greatest emission reductions relative to fossil fuel-powered options?
I believe that's what the EPA has said time and again, and just as we at OIG, we have identified the EPA's response and leadership with respect to climate change as a top management challenge facing the agency, and some of our work, though not with this yet, is looking at the resiliency planning for climate change. We haven't yet turned to school bus, but we do look at it with respect to, say, the water and wastewater sectors. So yes, resiliency is very important as well.
Your testimony includes plans to evaluate EPA selection process, given Republicans' belief that EPA should have awarded more rebates for low-emission buses. What % of applications EPA received during the first round of awards were zero-emission school buses?
It's my understanding, I think about 90% as far as what I've read from the EPA.
And under the Clean School Bus Program, Congress gave school districts flexibility to replace their old diesel-powered buses with a range of clean technology options. So looking at the applications, zero-emission electric buses are clearly what our school districts want to invest in. On top of the helping us save on the climate side and reduce pollution and the health benefits, zero-emission school buses save schools money on fuel and maintenance costs. On average, it's estimated that schools can save up to $10,000 annually for each bus they replace with a zero-emission electric bus. So I don't think it's surprising that school districts want buses that produce such large cost savings. That's what I'm hearing at home. It's a lot of the upfront costs that they're looking at now, and they need a little help with that. So I think these are vital federal investments in our communities. They're already paying off. We've got to do more. We've got to continue to provide continuity. So thank you for helping us continue to watch and evaluate the success of this initiative. In the meantime, I hope we can work together on this committee to make sure EPA has the resources necessary to continue here. So thank you very much, and I yield back.
Gently yields back. Now recognize the chairwoman of the full committee, Ms. McMorris Rogers, for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Inspector General, I have major concerns about the lack of EPA internal controls and internal audits necessary to